Oh, yeah. It's pretty pungent. Here we have a corpse lily, or sometimes called a voodoo lily. Its botanical name is Amorphophallus. There's a lot of different species of this, and so the most famous one is called the Titan corpse lily, which you find in those big botanical gardens. This one's a different species, so it's smaller, which makes it a little bit more manageable in a container like this, but the aroma has been really potent nonetheless.
And how long does it take you to grow one of these?
Honestly, we were a little surprised that it bloomed this year. We've been looking at this one for a couple of years. We found it from a collector in Manitoba, and when we got it, it was fully dormant, although I had visited with it over the previous year and had seen it fully leafed out. It's a beautiful, beautiful plant. But when we got it, it was fully dormant, so there was no leaves, nothing going on. We just let it rest through the winter. And over the last month or so, it has grown from nothing up to about the 3-foot size it is right now. And over this past weekend, it full on opened, and I will say yesterday, it smelled like death in here.
Oh my God. Oh, this smells like rotting chicken.
So at the beginning of the day yesterday, one of our staff members commented that it smelled a little bit like there was a dead mouse. And then as the morning unfolded, it became very apparent that this was the plant that was creating that aroma. And by the afternoon, like everywhere in this kind of main section of the retail greenhouse, literally smelled like that. I think that a few of us had really gotten up close with it, and even one person sort of touched it and felt like the aroma was stuck on their hands after, and they really wanted to get rid of that. So it was really very present. Like, you could not miss this yesterday, and it sort of had a visceral impact. This morning, I didn't notice the aroma at all at the beginning of the day, and then now, as I stand close to it, I can definitely smell it again. If you put your nose right in there, you're 100% going to be able to tell.
How long is the bloom going to continue? How many days?
So I think the bloom itself is going to be open and looking really intriguing for maybe like the next 5 to 10 days for sure. But the aroma definitely is going to go away. I think biologically it's one of the things about this plant is that it is attracting carrion beetles to go in there and do the pollination. And so if it kind of misses that window for it to be able to be pollinated, then it just sort of moves on and it's going to start to settle down and go into its leafy stage. So next week or so, I think will be really interesting. And after that, we'll see what happens. So this is the only one we have right now. This one is having babies, so we look forward to being able to multiply it and grow them up as well. But we didn't want to disturb it while it seemed to be coming into flower.
When it does have, new sprouts coming in, are you planning on selling it or growing your own? Or?
Yeah, so we're definitely looking forward to multiplying this, and hopefully we could offer them for sale at some point in the future. Honestly, they're not necessarily a hard plant to grow as long as you're aware that they will go fully dormant for part of the year, which makes it even easier. You just let them relax. But otherwise, it's a very straightforward tropical plant. It likes to be in sort of medium to bright light, and it does take a number of years for them to get big like this to be able to bloom. But I think that most home gardeners who would be intrigued by this would be able to succeed with them.
And you mentioned tropical plant. Where geographically are these plants from?
So my understanding is these plants are from very much tropical Southeast Asia, like Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, those parts of the world.
And why did you say, okay, I think that's the plant we need to add to our greenhouse?
Yeah, so I have been looking for this for a number of years. I definitely love to collect unusual plants. I love the look of this plant beyond the intrigue of its aroma. It's just a really cool looking plant. Inside that flower, wow, it's so complicated and so beautiful. I love plants that start conversations, and this is definitely a plant that'll do that. And, there's a very strong Gothic theme in gardening right now. And so I've been trying to collect some of the more interesting, very deep, dark plants out there. So this one really checked a lot of boxes for me.
And so when you first got it, did you think that it was going to bloom as early as now, or were you sort of just anticipating it?
So my expectation for blooms was that it might take a few years in our care before we'd see blooms. So I was really surprised to see that it seemed to be creating this flower stalk, and then to actually see it bloom this past couple days, I'm really excited.